Hey, what's happening, gamers? Welcome back to Kingdom Hearts 3, and Sora is dead. So game over. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and special thanks to Square-Enix for providing a copy of this game.
Yay! Thank you, Square.
Sora is now a ghost, I guess. If you want to find out what happens, check out our previous episode in the link in the description.
Go, Sora!
Pretty much everybody got swallowed up by the darkness!
No!
Can't stay away now, can you?
Huh?
What now? Now I'm hearing
Hello?
adorable voices in my head.
You were saying?
Adorable light voices?
It's a little fairy or something?
Wait a second! I know that thing!
The name's Chirithy, and this is the final world.
Kingdom Hearts mobile game.
I'm Sora. What's the final world?
It's a cat!
There's nothing else beyond this. You've wandered here more than once before on your visits to the Station of Awakening,
Huh?
but I let that slide. The edges of sleep and death touch, and one can't help the occasional crossover.
Well, creepy.
Wait, death?
Yeah, you died.
Yes, the natural end for those whose hearts and bodies perish together.
Harsh.
But some persist and arrive here.
That's a cute explanation.
My heart and body
Yeah.
perished? Does that mean...
Yes, Sora.
Something is holding you here, refusing to let you go. You're hanging by a thread.
What about my friends?
I'm afraid that no one else arrived with you. And if they're not here, they're either gone forever, or they're clinging to the world you came from.
I'm going back!
Whoa!
Whoa, whoa!
my gosh.
How exactly? You can't just wander out like your other visits.
What?
I told you. The other times you came here by your own choice. This time is very different. To become your old self again and return to the real world, you'll have to piece yourself back together in this world first.
Ah! Why am I in pieces?
What? No, not literally, of course. You're conceptually in pieces. On the inside, who knows? But on the outside, you're just fine.
This is fine?
Oh, okay. You kind of freaked me out
Oh, you're
there.
still Ghost, Sora.
Oh, boy.
It's a little tiger.
Usually, only a heart can reach the final world. But since you've clearly managed to retain some kind of form, that can only mean your body was cast into this world as well.
Oh.
Okay, so then if I can find my body, that means I'll be able to go back?
Precisely.
Probably.
But there's a lot of you to find. You're going to be busy.
Okay, so let me just explain what that thing was real quick, so people don't know. That creature is from the Kingdom Hearts mobile game that has been ongoing since, I believe, 2015. And it's only around in Japan, but these little cat creatures would be attached to different Keyblade wielders, and they would kind of, like, help out. They were like a familiar, a pet. Found myself lighter than before, unburden all my... Oh. Ooh.
Wait, what is he... These stars are talking?
These stars... Wait, we're in the final world, right?
Yeah, we're in whatever... He said it was the final world, there's no place further than this.
Okay, I think that these hearts are from dead Keyblade wielders.
What?
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think we're gonna be reading a lot of these.
That's creepy.
Because this world... Notice how Sora is just kind of like this transparent figure with... I guess he has a heart right now? I don't really know. But
Well, they said his heart and body perished. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
we spent so many years together. Yeah, these are dead Keyblade wielders. Which, if you guys didn't know, the Keyblade War happened about 5,000 years ago in Kingdom Hearts lore. And what happened was they all fought each other. They were all friends. They were all from rival factions, like 5 unions or 5, I guess, like guilds. And they all fought each other because they were trying to prevent the darkness of the world. And these were just kids. You know, they had different opinions, different hopes, different dreams, and the children went to war and just, like, slaughtered each other all adorably.
So basically they became the thing that they feared.
Essentially, yeah, they became darkness if you think about it, because they went around, like, committing an adorable massacre of one another, which is disturbing. So, I'm not going to read all these little stars here, because I think these are the lingering wills, if you will, of the former Keyblade warriors from the mobile game, which did not release in the US.
Wow, that's really dark.
Incredibly dark. Actually, we haven't really talked about the Keyblade War, so I think that's a good topic for this video since we're dead. So, that's what I'm gonna do.
It's like as dark as a War of Kittens or something.
Well, I can explain how it began while we're trying to, I guess, recollect pieces of us.
Where are we?
We are in the final world. So,
What a weird place.
this is essentially supposed to be like Keyblade Heaven. Like, the light world, you know.
It looks like it has a lot of white marble in it.
It's the afterlife. So, when a person in this world, in Fairy Tale universe, when their heart is separated from their body, and they still have, like, enough will to live or a lot of regrets,
Yeah.
they become like those star creatures, or, in Sora's case, they become like this blue figure.
What can you do if you have a lot of regret? You can eventually go back?
I mean,
Or no?
apparently if there's somebody who still knows who you are, you could probably go back in Fantasyland. But most of the children that are up here, they can't go back because the people that knew them are all gone. So there's no lightning rod, there's no tether for them to come back. Sora probably has Kairi doing something because she's just not a regular Keyblade warrior. She is a Princess of Heart. She is the Princess of Heart. So she has powers and abilities that other Keyblade people can't even fathom.
How did she become a Princess of Heart anyway?
I don't know. She was from Radiant Garden, which is the place that Ansem the Wise was. But anyway, the Keyblade War. If you guys don't know, it was a massive conflict that happened between the special apprentices of a guy called the Master of Masters, who was basically this dude wearing an Organization 13 cloak back 5,000 years in Kingdom Hearts history. And he gave each one of these masters signature Keyblades based after their own hearts. Not their literal hearts, but just, you know, stuff.
Their personalities and, like, what they believed in.
Then he gave them all a Book of Prophecy, but only one of them did he give the Book of Prophecy with a missing page. And he told this person, I believe the character's name is Gula, the leopard or like panther or something like that. All the Keyblade leaders have animal masks, like the 5 of them. And he tells him, I'm going to give you this last page because one of the 5 is a traitor and they're going to bring about the Keyblade War and the darkness. So over the course of several years after the master disappears, these 5 animal people start basically mistrusting one another and creating their own Keyblade unions and forming alliances. All this stuff was forbidden because it would bring about the end of the world.
Whoa, it feels like the Master guy was the one who started the Keyblade War then.
That's actually a really good theory. I've heard people say that the person responsible for being a traitor is actually the Master of Masters, who some people believe is actually Sora or Riku or somebody else later. But
like their future self will become evil and they can't stop it, like the Reverse Flash.
Yeah, kind of. It's just a theory, though. I mean, there's no you know, concrete stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, the Keyblade War happened because like the animal people or animal mask Keybladers all went to distrust one another. One Keyblade wielder by the name of Ava, the fox animal spirit master, whatever.
Yeah.
She went around collecting unique Keyblade wielders from other unions, and she also confronted the apprentice's master, Luxio, I think is his name.
Okay.
And she said, you know, what is going on? So the master really knew that the Keyblade War was going to happen and we can't stop it. And your job is just to basically watch the end of the world and then leave.
Yeah.
So she goes about breaking the rules and trains all these different special Keyblade wielders known as the Dandelions, and she tells them the war is coming and what I need you guys to do, because there's no stopping it. Everybody's heart has been turned to darkness and friend's gonna fight friend. Think of it like a civil war in this world. So she trains the dandelions and tells them, you're not going to fight. I'm going to elect 5 of you to lead you guys, and you're going to go to an alternate world, and you're going to spread the light through all these different worlds that were once connected, which became the fantasy worlds.
Wow.
So the dandelions escaped judgment, so to speak, but not all their friends did. So the Keyblade War happened, and you actually, in the mobile game, play as this character called the Player, who essentially at the end of the conflict dies. So, and you can see the person there crying with regret, and like beforehand, when you're fighting on the Keyblade War, to show you guys how crazy this was, there was pretty much like thousands of children running with adorable smiles on their faces, slaughtering one another, and as the battle continued to wage on, more and more Keyblades would be added in the background of the mobile game, and not just that, you would see these tiny hearts floating off into the distance to symbolize a Keyblade wielder that had fallen.
Oh,
so, I mean,
wow.
it is a dark game that did not appear in the West.
Well, didn't you tell me, like, the screen started getting filled up with stuff?
Yeah, as you continue to play in the Keyblade Graveyard, it starts with 1 Keyblade, then 5, then 10, then 15, then 100, and it just keeps going until the entire screen is filled.
By the end of the game, your screen is filled with...
And only you are left, like, literally lying on the ground. Like, you know, ready to meet your end.
Wow, that's such a dark ending.
And they will never make a game like that because the Western world will not let them release something like that. Because it's kids fighting one
I see that
another.
you found them all.
Oh, so dramatic.
Yup.
Then isn't it time that you left?
Okay.
Oh, thanks.
What? I'm doing you a big favor here, you know. Don't push it.
Hey, Cheerthy, you still look like you, right? Would you like me to help you find your pieces?
Oh, I don't work like that.
It needs a Keyblade wielder.
Like, you're waiting for someone to rescue you?
Sort of?
Well, tell me who. I'll find him. Huh?
No. That's okay. He doesn't remember the past. Besides,
Doesn't remember
I'm
the
sure that he's
past.
much happier with his new friends.
Somebody that exists?
But I'll wait. He'll arrive here one day.
So the person
Okay.
isn't dead?
I'll be back to visit you.
What?
You and me are friends now.
Really? I've missed having friends.
He has no mouth.
Well, see you around. And thanks.
There's still a lot to cover about the Keyblade War, so we'll continue after they're done chit-chatting.
Okay.
Huh?
I'm interested.
Could I get a hint how to save the others?
Seriously?
You fail, Sora.
Are you a Keyblade wielder, or aren't you? Haven't you already learned how to restore someone's heart after it's been lost?
Restore their hearts. Is that the same thing as the power of waking?
I'm not sure, but give it a shot.
No. This'll take all my heart. Okay.
Nice shot.
It's so cool he was able to summon that even when he was a ghost before.
That's why I think that one day Sora's going to become like the ultimate Keyblade master.
Oh my gosh!
I don't think he would be the one that has to make the Keyblade War happen, because then Sora would be responsible for the death of thousands of children.
Look for the light in the darkness.
Maybe he'll be the new Keyblade Master, a good one. Maybe.
I mean, it's not... Also, the Keyblade Master of Masters is kind of insane.
Why were all the Keyblade Warriors...
May your heart be your guiding key.
And that was first said in the mobile games. Well, I mean, not in our continuity, but in the Keyblade continuity, that was the thing that the 5 masters used to say, the Animal Mask people. That may your heart be your guiding key. And then, of course, Yen Sid. It's possible Yen Sid is actually one of the original Dandelion children.
Huh?
Yeah. I mean, you don't know how old the wizard is. He could be ancient. But there's also another character that is 5,000 years old. That is a current
Sora,
character.
You don't believe
There
that.
is?
I know you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Merlin?
Younger looking.
Younger, but
All right, you guys have seen this.
5,000 years old.
Okay, so after the Keyblade War, see, you can see littered with dead Keyblade wielders, their blades. There are
Ugh.
5 heroes that are chosen by the Fox Girl, the Fox Keyblade wielder, to go about and pretty much start over, protect the Keyblade wielders, and, you know, spread light throughout the world. I don't remember all their names. There's a boy, there's a girl, there's a dude with a black cat, and then there is Ventus. Ven.
Oh, Ventus is a Keyblade person from before?
Right. And it's very possible that that little pet that we saw was actually Ven's familiar, who would have forgotten about everything because Ven fought in the Keyblade War, but the Union members warped his mind so he wouldn't remember the atrocities that happened. So he could be a good leader.
Wow. That's really kind of messed up.
It's all official thanks to the mobile game. Before it was just a theory that, you know.
Wow, so... Wait, how could Ven be...
Answer me!
But didn't Riku get messed up too?
Everybody's dead. Zora's gonna have to try to get everybody back together, because he is the only thing that tethers them to this world. The only reason the other Keyblade champions, wielders, and anything couldn't come back during the Keyblade War, all their friends that knew them died on the battlefield.
Oh. Wait, you're saying Ven is not a kid? He's an old person?
Well, I mean, he's still a kid, but in Birth by Sleep, when Xehanort finds him, Ven doesn't really have his memories. Like, he's useless. He's afraid. He has great power, but he won't utilize it.
Wow.
So the mobile games have said
This is Herc's world.
that Ven fought in the Keyblade War.
Is Riku here?
Whoa.
And he hates fighting other Keyblade wielders. Because he probably, you know, destroyed his friends.
Whoa.
See, friends had to battle friends. Because whatever guild you signed up for,
here.
that was a guild you had to fight for.
I'm here.
Couldn't you just leave?
Jiminy!
No.
You're okay!
Well, okay might be a stretch, but what are we waiting for? We need to find the others.
Little cricket.
Right!
I finally got around to watching that hour movie that's on the, you know, 2.8 collection, which deals with the Kingdom Hearts Union or Kingdom Hearts Key mobile game. But then I went through and I researched all the other mobile games because it's still ongoing in Japan. They just released a new patch before Kingdom Hearts 3 came out that shows that Ven is one of the 5 original Union leaders. Not the Animorph people, the ones with the masks. They're assuming those guys are all dead. But he is one of the human Keyblade wielders that helps get everybody into another world.
Oh.
And that story apparently is going to be ongoing for the next couple years in Japan. But the fact that they made this mobile game continue the story of the past is just, it's so irritating because people in the West, they really can't get to the story without a select few Kingdom Hearts channels translating all of that story into English.
Yeah, so only select people that actually can translate it can know what actually happened. That's interesting.
Right.
But wait, so are you saying that Ven wasn't... He escaped the Keyblade Wars by being a...
He was a survivor.
Oh, I thought
He
maybe
fought.
he was the group that went around and didn't... So he really did fight.
He did fight and he joined the Dandelions, yep.
Oh, okay.
Riku!
Dandelions were the people that left they did not fight. Not all of them, except for some of their leaders. And their leaders
Ven-
did survive.
Oh. Wow.
There are at least 10 known survivors of the war. One of those is the apprentice of the Masters of Masters. There's Riku.
Oh my gosh, Riku's a ghost too.
Uh-oh.
Oh. He's got some kind of like cage on his heart.
Heartless just stole his heart.
Creepy.
Hey! Give us back Riku's heart! Please? Well, yeah, here's the interesting thing. Remember how I told you at the end of one of the Kingdom Hearts mobile games, there's been 3. So after the Keyblade War, as your player character is going into the light, you've basically been attacked by 4 of the 5 Keyblade Masters.
Sora, we can't let him get away.
And you survived it. You were adhering armor, but eventually when the Unicorn Mask guy, who is the leader of all of everybody, he fights you, and you are on your last breath, and your little familiar cat
Forget the small
like the
fry.
cat comes,
We gotta go after the one in
Yeah.
charge.
and it says, you know, this is the end, I'm so sorry this happened, that you kids had to fight, and you're trying to tell your little pet that we had a great adventure together, spanning, you know, several mobile games.
Yeah.
And then 2 of the dandelions, who you thought were dead throughout the entire game, come back and tell you, you know, everything's going to be okay. And then for a couple years, people thought that was it. You're done, because a light shows up and then the credits, and your character's crying and on the ground and barely, you know, trying to reach up to the light with a shaky hand, even though it's like a chibi hand. Very disturbing stuff.
Wow.
So when the next mobile game starts,
That's disturbing.
you wake up in a world that looks like it's from the Sleeping Beauty land.
Okay.
And Maleficent is there. And she mentions how Sora can't find her. So the fact that you are a character that was in the Keyblade War, you end up to where Sora is now, it's just really confusing.
Yeah, it's like you skip time and dimensions.
Well, I mean, Kingdom Hearts 3 is all about time travel, so I guess the new mobile games are going to be all about time travel. But for the next 2 years, they're going to be telling the story. Give us back Riku's heart!
Hey, wait!
See how the heart is floating away? That's what happened to the hearts in the Keyblade graveyard.
There's no need to worry, Sora. He'll return to the place he fell, like you did. We gotta focus on rescuing the others.
Okay.
What?
That's not true, because they said the place that he fell, Sora was defeated in the Keyblade graveyard, so his body should return to the Keyblade graveyard.
Yeah.
Not the first world we visited.
Fled into one of those pools of shadow that are down below us.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's super
Where
weird.
do they lead?
Well, I think they might be portals to other worlds.
Okay. Maybe that's where we'll find the others.
They're talking about
If
this
we
so
hurry.
matter-of-factly. Like, those are probably portals to other worlds. No big deal.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Portals to other
gosh.
worlds. Always fun.
Oh my gosh. Never mind. I'll have to tell you later, but it reminds me of this person that was on the Dr. Oz show. I'll tell you later, though.
Okay. Oh,
Hey.
Pirates World!
Basically, someone was on his show talking about how they went through another dimension, and he was, like, asking them all kinds of questions. Like, saying that they could see all kinds of worlds at once. It was, like, really weird.
Okay, well, here's where things get even more confusing, alright? You know that Kingdom Hearts Recoded game that we didn't really play because it's basically a bunch of digital worlds? Oh look, it's Stitch.
Oh yeah, Stitch.
Stitch again. I don't really like the summon. I'm gonna need to get rid of him because he doesn't really work all that well. Or I don't know how to use
I don't
him.
really know how to use this one at all.
I liked Stitch summons in other games. I thought he was more fun. I mean, he looks powerful, don't get me wrong, but entrapping people that are floating around is kind of impossible. So anyway, Kingdom Hearts Recoded, you know that black box that pretty much Maleficent is looking for? She's also looking for, which you find out in Kingdom Hearts Recoded, she's looking for the Book of Prophecies, which was handed out to the 5 animal masters by the Master of Masters, who you said basically caused them to turn on each other, and he secretly was the traitor.
Or, like, if you just put the idea in somebody's head that somebody's the traitor, then they'll all just kill each other and...
Well, he each gave them all specific roles to play. One would be the leader of everyone. One would be the information broker who would basically spy on everybody and report back to the leader. One would be the second in command of everybody. One would be like the trainer of Keyblade wielders. And the other would be the one who has to find the traitor.
Okay, I have a question. My main question here. Why were all the Keyblade Warriors children? Because Aqua's clearly not a child, and she's...
Aqua began her training like a Jedi. She and Terra both started when they were children.
Oh.
Keyblade wielders being older than 16 was not the norm until Birth by Sleep. And Master Erika's, of course. Like, you had a couple of the masters, the animal people, were basically probably late teens, early 20s. Similar to Terra.
But why were there no, like, were the leaders adults, or no?
Yes, the leaders were adults. We think. I don't know how old Ava was. But if you think about it, it's the Keyblade War is kind of Ava's fault, because while she was training the Keyblade wielders, and she had a heart for all these children, like, basically like a mother figure, you know, trying to protect them from the darkness and training them, she confronts the Master of Masters' assistant, who he gave the Keyblade with the gazing eye, and he told them, you can't interfere with what's going to happen, you just have to watch how the world destroys itself and then move on, carrying this black box that Maleficent wants, and that, you know, Xehanort and the organization is looking for in Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, the apprentice has it. He's had it for centuries. He's just going from world to world, watching, not interfering. Ava finds him and challenges him because she says, you're the traitor. And as soon as they fight, the shockwave of the battle makes the bell ring in town, which is prophesized that when the bell rings, that's when the Keyblade War will begin. So it's her fault, the one who loved the children and trained them. She's the one that set off the Keyblade War because she caused the bell to ring.
Was he the traitor, though?
Nobody knows! They still haven't told anybody. At the end of the mobile game, it says Kingdom Hearts Reconnect, which I think is going to be Kingdom Hearts 4.
Oh my gosh.
So, I mean, they are in the mobile game, every mobile game that's ended, it says Kingdom Hearts Reconnect. When Birth by Sleep ended, showing the black figure in the Keyblade graveyard, it said Kingdom Hearts Reconnect.
Well, they can't do a children's war in America. Like
no, they can never show the game. What they'll do is they'll show the aftermath. The game has been banned in the US. It's not, as far as I know, it's never been available. Because of that very reason, children massacring each other with smiles on their faces.
Why would they be smiling, though?
I don't, because they're all chibi-looking characters. They're just cutesy, you know? They didn't, what I find weird is they never animated them with like an angry look on their face in the graveyard or the battlefield, which used to be their hometown. So the Keyblade Graveyard was a town called Daybreak. A beautiful, happy town full of sunshine and rainbows, and it turns into the Keyblade Graveyard after the battle. Everything's destroyed.
Doesn't that feel like, I mean, when people try to get rid of, when they're so afraid of evil, they try to accuse other people.
No.
Never mind.
No, you keep going.
They try to accuse other people of doing something evil because they're afraid of evil, and then they end up being evil themselves because they're accusing people and hating people. Well, I mean,
I'm leaving out some stuff that confuses even me. You know that little cat creature we saw in heaven? Well, the Master of Masters created that to be like the familiar or the partner of the Keyblade wielder, like a friend that they could talk to, and, you know, he loves cute things, so...
Yeah.
He made it, and he said, but you need to be careful because if darkness gets inside these little creatures, they'll turn into nightmares. Which basically, think of the little cat creatures, except all black and, like, purple.
But what does that mean?
Well, he says darkness is evil, and as they have to protect the world by destroying darkness.
But
so
the little cat creatures never turned into nightmares.
One of them does. And how the unicorn guy, at the very beginning, I mean, he's kind of the one... It's not just the master that planted the seeds of doubt in his 5, like, apprentices. He basically, the leader, a year or two after the master had disappeared and they're ruling with peace, he realizes that one of the familiars has turned into a nightmare, and he's trying to find out who that familiar is master to. Because if he can figure that out, then that's the traitor, and he can prevent the Keyblade War.
Okay, I don't understand, like, if you're a Keyblade person... and you're forced to fight everyone, and you see everyone being slaughtered, then you're like, man, this is messed up. I'm gonna leave. Like, I don't want to fight these people. They're my friends.
They were all friends.
Right. I mean, like, why can't they think for themselves? Like, I don't really understand their...
If you try to desert, I believe your union leader would destroy you before you could even leave.
Why would that... But I thought they're supposed to be guardians of light. Why would they just... That doesn't seem like something that people would do.
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense that the children would... That's why it's so dark, though.
It doesn't make any sense that that would be a tactic that they would use where they would kill you if you don't... I mean, I can understand a dishonorable discharge or being seen as a traitor.
That's what people view the dandelions as. Like, part of the reason why they go to war, too, is because Ava was creating a elite group of Keyblade wielders that none of the other unions... Unions were basically Keyblade armies owned by one of the 5 masters. And when the masters realized that Ava was collecting even people from their guilds to join, like, this elite super Keyblade group to deal with the darkness, they figured Ava was trying to take over the world, and she was corrupt.
Alright, so, but this is my thing, like, just because someone's creating an elite group of Keyblade wielders, and then you're like, oh, I don't like that, so I'm gonna slaughter millions of people, I don't see how that goes hand in hand, like...
Right.
It's like, okay, I'm blaming her for the fact that I'm killing people, it doesn't... You can't, it's like if you're in school and somebody gets a solo and you wish you had gotten it, and so then you do everything you can to try to make their life miserable. It's not like, oh, this person ruined my life because they got the solo. It's like, you're the one with the problem. Just because they say they got something that was unfair, it still doesn't make, 2 wrongs don't make a right. So, like, and it's not like making an elite group of people was anything wrong either. Like, they perceived it as wrong.
You want to know the craziest theory that has yet to be confirmed? Everybody is saying that the grandmother of Kairi is the ancient Keyblade master Ava, the mother of, like, basically the protector of the dandelions.
Yeah, but just because her actions triggered someone to do something doesn't mean it's her fault. Like, just because they did it because of her doesn't mean it was her fault. They decided to do that.
Oh, there was a lot of things in motions, but everybody says that Ava was the traitor because she rang the bell when she confronted the apprentice who she thought was evil.
But why would ringing a bell make people kill each other?
It was in the Book of Prophecies.
But who cares?
They have to follow the Book of Prophecies.
Why?
Because the Book of Prophecies, pretty much the Masters of Masters is a time traveler. He has to go through and fulfill everything in the book.
Why?
Because if he doesn't, then the future will be ruined.
What? What future?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure the future was already ruined when all the kids killed each other.
Yeah, because the worlds were originally all connected before the Keyblade War.
I have to say that whatever future they were trying to prevent couldn't have been worse than them slaughtering each other.
Right, like, and there were some people, there were actually some of the Keyblade Masters that realized that we need to stop following the Master's teachings because, you know, this is causing dissension and all this other stuff. But then you had other Keyblade Masters that were like, no, the Master gave us specific instructions. Each one of us has a role to play. And if we don't fulfill that role, then the darkness will take over.
But you don't know. But that's the whole thing.
Exactly.
That's the whole thing is... That's the entire thing, is that they're doing it because they think the darkness will take over. But is there not a time when you look at yourself slaughtering somebody else and going, oh my gosh, the darkness is taking over and it's me killing these people because I'm afraid of the darkness? It's just like the Puritans, like, you know, like doing, like the whole, like, thing that happened in Massachusetts with where they were worried about, like, all this darkness, and then they had those witch trials, and they were killing innocent people. It's because they were worried about somebody doing evil, but then they were the ones that ended up doing evil.
I know.
So that's what I'm saying, like...
But yeah, just to get back to our stuff, pretty much the Keyblade War will never have a game made about it because of just how shocking it is, the fact that you play as these different characters, and over the course of the game, the Keyblade wielders start, like, the other factions start to duel in town, and, you know, you can see them get angrier and darker and stuff, and, you know, they are so quick to turn on each other. It's disturbing.
This is why Abraham Lincoln is one of my favorite presidents, because he said freedom of conscience. Your conscience is one of the most important freedoms that you can have. And that means that you have the freedom to decide yourself what is right and wrong and do that. Like, you have the ability to do what you feel is right. Like, these Keyblade people were not allowed to think for themselves and do what they thought was right.
Unless they were a dandelion. If they were a dandelion, Ava, who may be Kyrie's grandmother, charged the children with having their own book of prophecy. She gave them her book, which was forbidden, which told them, you know, what the events were, and she also gave them another book, the Book of Union, which explained that, you know, no more groups can have, like, multiple Keyblade factions. All 5 of you are going to rule, and there won't be any leaders anymore. But anyway, that's a topic for another time. I hope you guys had fun, learned about the Keyblade War and all that fun stuff. Join us next time as Sora continues to explore past worlds to find the missing pieces of his friends. Until we meet again, God bless and happy gaming. Thanks for watching.